All right, we're going to game 4. Trust actually saying probably to himself, wait a minute, I don't have to do anything fancy. I just beat that guy in a standard game. He wasn't ready. I hit him in a couple spots. He couldn't handle it. Well, this is game number 4, Speed versus Trust. Speed losing that last game. He's going to have to hunker down, or Trust is going to power through this with a comeback. In the bottom left, in the blue, our Terran player. He is.
Speed.
And in the upper left, in the red, the Protoss player winning game number 3.
KT 로스터 트러스트.
Okay.
So they're both sharing the left side of the map. And
welcome to Coda Astral.
I never thought of it like that. Thank you for coming to the studio. Welcome down here. Yeah, I'm not sure if I understand the sign, but you're always welcome to come down here.
Yeah.
I was looking at you like, do you know what that means?
No, I have no idea.
Yeah.
Code Artosis, perhaps?
That's definitely what it is. And Code S's code is it's actually for tasteless, but it's just the last S in my name. So.
And Code A is for tasteless also. It's just the A.
This
that's
is
after
the A in
T.
my name. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
so, yeah, let's see what happens in this game. By the way, Trust scouted Speed like as fast as a Protoss can scout. He guessed the right location, he found him, and this is going to be just one little edge here for the early game going to Trust. I mean, Trust can survey and monitor his opponent pretty easily.
Yeah. This can be very annoying as well, just having the probe harassing that devilish probe down there, you know, causing lost mining time at the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
What type of build do you think that we're going to see out of Trust? Is he going to play a straight-up game in these close spots?
I think he might do the exact same build as the last game. Oh, no, he's not. He's getting a Stargate. I should have waited another second. I wouldn't have looked so dumb. Okay, so he's getting a Stargate. Let's see. It looks like he probably wants to get an Oracle out here, start trying to hit SCVs. We'll see, though.
Definitely think you're right about that, Tasteless.
Especially in these spots. Oracle, never bad.
No, certainly not. And one of those units that, you know, if your opponent is not prepared, will do more damage than almost anything.
He's got an SCV hiding there in the top center that maybe used to scout or maybe to make something hidden up there. Not sure. Command
Wouldn't
center.
that be funny if you put a starport up there against like an Oracle type build?
It'd be weird.
Yeah.
I don't even know if it'd be good. We'd have to see. Now he peeks in with the Adept. Great placement here by Speed. Also, he may have to be careful not to lose this worker up here. But yeah, I don't think the Adept can do much of anything.
No,
and we have that Oracle. It's about 1/3 of the way complete.
As long as the Adept just kind of sits here, it forces the Marines to kind of be like cognizant of where the Adepts are at so that they can prevent any harassment. And they're denying quite a bit of mining right now.
Okay,
they killed the one SCV there. He can't make SCVs from there right now.
And
it's really annoying.
That SCV is not going to be used to build anything.
We do have a Starport on the way. Cyclone coming out as well. The Cyclone going to be very good defense against the upcoming Oracle.
And yeah, that Oracle is going to head right over there into that main base. And it's going to be there in a matter of seconds, actually.
And he did get a scout off. I believe that was the SCV that he was hiding up there.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a very strong scout. You should be ready for this Oracle.
Oh.
Shouldn't be taking too much damage.
Doesn't look like he's going to be able to do anything with this. Speed is already ready. Already.
That's a very speedy way to be ready.
Yeah. And now we have the Robo Bay coming here for Protoss with the third base. Neither of these guys can really touch each other, and you got to really point out the respect these guys are giving each other. Nobody overextending, very cautious play.
Yeah.
I think Speed definitely doesn't want to be in a situation where he dominates in the first 2 games and gets overconfident.
Yeah.
And ends up losing.
If you lose after the first 2 games were so easy for him as well. So if he were to go to game 5 even, I think that's a mental edge for Trust. Trust like, okay, I stopped doing wonky all-ins, and look at this. This is nice. But right now we do have that second Cyclone popping out, and he is moving across the map right now. Looks like Speed wants to get some damage done.
And he might be able to do that. There's 2 oracles out here. By the way, they haven't done any damage so far. Here they come now, though.
Well, let's see how quick. Oh, he didn't move it. Oh, that is so painful indeed. And now a lot of damage being dealt. This is a really good move here by Trust.
Wow. He had the tools. He just didn't activate them in time.
Yeah, it was a little bit risky. If you do catch that instantly, then you can kill off the oracles without losing it. But
oh my God!
he wasn't able to
22
do so.
workers killed. This is oh my God!
Wow.
GG! Wow! Whoa! That was crazy. I mean, it looked like it could have been an even exchange there for a little bit, and he just was not ready at home for that.
Yeah. Those 2 oracles just completely wrecked. If you see that coming with the Cyclone, you can lock on from greater distance in their attack, run away from them, kill them off, defend your base. If you had done that, he'd be in like a big lead right now instead of having the game be over.
Yeah, I mean, he just was not prepared for that. And, of course, the attack in the front, even though you could see Speed was microing pretty hard back there, it just was not enough.
Yeah.
He was trying to put him in and out of the medevac. It doesn't matter. Protoss is going to warp in more and just kill you.
Yeah, that attack wasn't ever meant to end the game. That was like he's putting some pressure on, trying to get some damage done, force some warp in, stuff like that. But
it's tied up 2-2, man.
Game 5.
Trust may have the comeback.
Yeah.
Speed is winning in the more traditional way. Holding off the rushes, great control. But in Game 3, he just was not quite in position. In Game 4, his eyes were not on the right part of the minimap, or his screen was not in the right part of the minimap at the right time. That cost him the game.
I think this can really throw his mindset off, too, because he lost 2 pretty normal games. Like, even this last game we just saw with the 2 oracles that just ended the game, that's not cheesy. You can go 2 oracles against Terran.
He doesn't expect to win with the 2 oracles, but he gets there, they kill everything off, and he goes, all right, I'll take that.
Yeah. It's a legit build. So you see Speed maybe trying to pump himself up a little bit. Trust trying to stay calm. I just decide what's going on in their head. I'm like, Trust right now is thinking about the dinner he's going to have tonight if he wins.
Right. And Speed is saying, oh, it's garbage day. I better take out the trash when I get home. Anyways, guys, this is the final game between these 2. Who will survive? Speed or Trust? This is their last match in the GSL Code A. In the upper left, in the blue, he is
Speed.
named after the great movie. That's right.
Great movie.
Great movie. It looks like he's listening to like hardcore metal while he's
he could
in there.
be.
In the bottom right, in the red.
I wonder if we allow that. Actually, just don't know.
I actually don't know if we let them listen to music. I have no idea.
I would imagine no.
Well, we have the soundproof headsets on them.
Yeah, but I don't think
then we
they would
have
let them. Because, like, what are you going to listen to all their MP3s that are on their phone before, and it couldn't even be on a phone because you can't have a phone in the booth.
I would have a song that's going, Tasteless, keep making probes, and don't forget to make pylons.
Yeah.
That's how I'd win a GSL.
Seriously.
How old is that movie, Speed, by the way?
Really old.
It's really old, right?
Really old.
How many more people died with that bus going through the town, hitting cars and driving people off of bridges? I think there were only like 10 people on the bus anyways.
Yeah, there wasn't that many people on the bus.
It's true. When you think about it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's... What was some of these movies
Speed
have a
2
lot
is the one with the boat, right?
I don't think I watched that one, though.
Yeah, well, I thought I only have...
How could I after Speed 1?
2 hours of my life
I just knew it could never measure up.
Yeah. I think I need to rewatch that. I think you need to go to my house and we need to watch Speed, man.
Oh, it would be so cringe, I'm sure.
We could cast that, the movie Speed. Okay, so in this game, I really am curious as to what exactly Trust is going to do. Trust has showed actually a pretty good range of decisions and styles of play. It seems like the really aggressive style isn't working. Now, some of you guys might have seen Game Number 4 and said, but Tasteless, He went in there with oracles, but that wasn't the point. Was that that's not supposed to win the game. He just the cyclone wasn't ready, so he killed it. Then he's like, "Oh, sick!
Yeah,
I get to kill everything in your base now."
I mean, if these guys played a bunch of games that were just practice against each other, that would probably not work very often at all. And Speed had just happened to walk out of his base too, so he had nothing at home. And it's not like you can turn around. The oracles would be out of energy and already have killed everything. So it was like. It's funny because the strategy is not super popular, but it is one of these that if the Terran messes up at all, they can just die. And it's still like a macro opener.
Yeah.
So, kind of Trust giving himself a lot of chances to try to win in these games.
RoboBay on the way here, as well as the Twilight Council. Who's going to make the first move is what I'm wondering.
Well, the Hellions should be coming over to poke, and I think that this is going to be like basically the same build from Trust that we saw in Orbital Shipyard. It's really good here if you just...
Yeah, you're correct, actually.
Yeah. And like pressuring into that third base, there's no ramp or anything. Even the natural doesn't really have a ramp, so you can do a lot of harassment.
Yeah, it's an open territory, isn't it? We have the Blink coming here from Trust. Trust is going to have the day of his career if he wins this, man. After being down 0-2, what really did look like, there's an impossible series for him to recover from. This would be a huge moment for him.
It certainly would, and it definitely could occur. He did really well with this build on Orbital Shipyard.
Yeah, for sure.
This is Zest. Like, this is what Zest invented to kill Terrans with. So we know that it's like a super legit strat, but the way that Speed is playing, he's all right still. Look, his Hellions are giving him good recon.
He didn't
I think he has a good idea of what's going on, too.
In the previous game that he did this, he actually sent him in there. They only got 2 kills. He lost 2 Hellions. So.
And he's already got 1 kill.
Yeah.
On that probe.
Whoa!
Oh, and he blocks the Nexus
Nice.
and gets the kill.
Wow. Little victories panning out into a big win there.
Yeah.
That's the 3rd probe.
Knowing that is the 3rd probe? Oh, man.
This probe's like, I'm not going out there. I know what happened to the last 2 probes.
Well,
okay,
he gets
so
the
he
Nexus
finally
down.
gets it up. But that's actually quite late. Especially because in Legacy we get bases so quickly. Like having it, even 15 seconds later, it's like, oh, that's pretty bad, man.
It's quite a big deal. This was like a valuable thing that Speed has done. StarCraft is very oftentimes a game of little edges adding up into something big, and that slowing it down, very nicely done. In the meantime, a couple more racks on the way.
I thought you called them wax.
Racks.
Wax.
Raxes.
Make more bear wax. So, Protoss pretty soon here is going to have the liberty to push out on the map.
But will he have the wings?
That's you were so lame. The dad jokes.
I'm lame.
In the best,
You're lame.
In the best way possible.
All right.
In the best way possible, Artosis. Also, we want to keep our eyes peeled on these medevacs. I think he might try to come in here and snipe this.
All right, pushing it right now with these stalkers.
Oh, good control from Speed.
Yeah.
Picks up the injured unit, drops it back out.
But you know what? This Blink Stalker harassment is still really valuable. It kind of keeps units at home.
Well, the thing about it is it's safe, I mean, some harass, like, you can really screw up and lose. Like, medevac harass, you can really mess that up.
Yeah.
With Stalkers, I mean, you kind of feel safe while you're doing it, you know?
Absolutely. Blink Stalkers, you can just get away from basically anything with that. Yeah. Like, they have to have a lot of speedlings on a long map to catch those. So...
Oh, good scan. Takes out the observer.
That's quite nice to get rid of that. In the meantime, the gateway explosion is occurring. We have glaives on the way as well. This is really well done by Trust. Like, this is very good execution of this build.
Oh my God, he's going to step on a mine. Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he will.
Takes a lot of damage there. Now the drop is coming in, and I don't know. Protoss's base seems pretty naked overall. I don't see much of anything here.
He's making a beeline back right now with these stalkers, realizing the units were missing.
Now the gateways might be done in time. He just warps in and stops us. There's an Artosis pylon. Oh, Tosis. You're going to be 40 years old casting StarCraft 5, and that's still going to be going on. So
if StarCraft 5 is out by the time I'm 40 years old, that's going to be amazing.
Oh, takes that out. Liberator's coming in here. Speed is pretty scary when he does this. Also, these Stalkers are not doing anything.
Quite a nice drop going down right now. And the double Liberator. All right, we do have a little warping of Adept, so it looks like he has enough to clean that off. But the double Liberator at the natural is really getting some value for him, denying a lot of mining time, too.
Warp Prism not doing anything either up here.
Look at that. That is
so hard to break.
Oh, my God. If you blink into those Stalkers, you're going to lose a lot of them to take those down.
Oh, man. The Widow Mine also connects with those Adepts. That's pretty huge.
All right. We do have him continuing to harass his third base.
This army might actually be too small to be doing this. He can like drop anywhere, and Protoss just has enough. He's like, all right, get out.
Now, we have to remember one thing.
Sure.
Speed didn't make a third command center. He's making it now during this attack, but he sacrificed quite a bit to get in there and do that damage. So Trust is not done yet. In fact, a big warping goes down.
The sloppy attack, though, there by Trust. He's going to lose a lot of these Adepts.
And attacking up the middle with the main chunk of his army here. Well, he's doing actually a pretty good job considering he's targeting on Widow Mines pretty well.
Yeah, it's not a pretty fight, though.
Yeah, has to be careful about those Widow Mines. When those connect, Adepts really clump up. All right, that is a lot of Adepts, though.
This running back here takes out just one of those medevacs. The Liberation Zone is set up. Is Trust going to have enough? He might just be able to do this. Keep in mind, there should be a second warp in coming in here. A lot of Marauders, though, at the bottom of this. He has to target down wisely. The Liberator's gone. Okay, next warp in. This is really important.
You can't be losing this little group of units right here. Oh, that was definitely a little bit of a misplay by Speed. He sees, though, there is another big warp in. Stalkers trying to target everything down that they can.
Can't overextend here. Liberation Zone does go down. He's also slowed this area down over here. Now, is he going to get another warp in? Why is that not in the warp? Okay, here we go.
Yeah, he doesn't even have Marines to target that down right now, so that's a little bit rough. Does put down that Liberation Zone. That's very important right now because there's only 2 Stalkers.
He's really committing with these Adepts here.
He targets down the Stalkers, so that was a great move, and now they're just fighting under Liberation Zone. You don't ever want to do that.
You know, I think he actually committed with just an odd unit set here. He keeps warping in Adepts here, but he's not going to have an answer for these Liberators.
Yeah. The Liberator count is going to continue to grow. Speed is making them non-stop.
Gets that Warp Prism out of there.
Yeah, chasing him away.
I don't think this is wise. I think he should cancel. There we go.
Okay, solid cancel. And, like, Speed is picking it up now with his units. He's not very far behind as far as workers go. And his army supply is really superior. This is all that Trust has, is these Adepts.
I think he kind of overcommitted here. Oh, my God. Woo. Whoa, nice save. Just don't warp in the... All right. I guess that works. I guess that works.
Yeah.
I was going to say you should probably move that because it's going to die. By then, Terran's going to be up there. But I think actually Trust is overexpending.
Yeah.
He's bleeding off too many units, and he's not reaping any benefits.
He doesn't
from it.
have anything behind this right now.
Yeah.
He's got like +1 attack and glaives and blink and, you know, nothing else going on for him.
Well, this is a problem. I think at this point in time, Speed can actually just push here once he's done cleaning this up to the bottom right. Look, he's even going to be able to take out this Warp Prism.
Oh, man. With
Might have been better to let that finish even.
Yeah.
He's not even trying to save it. It's like watching somebody like harass a cow or something.
Well, you just push him over, right?
Yeah, he tips that cow. I think the counterattack just wins. Look at the supplies now. It's 95 to 146. There's way too much muscle here from Terran. Way too much sophistication in the unit composition.
Yeah.
Speed has these kind of basic...
He just has Adepts. That's all there is to his army. He's got 10 Adepts and an Immortal.
It's your basic bro army.
Yeah. It's your basic
bro army. And I think he just pushes in from here.
Oh, for sure. You're right about that, Tasteless. This is like very textbook for Speed to finish this game.
Yeah, for sure.
Should be able to finish it off coming up here. It does throw down some Liberation Zones. Oh, man. Well, it probably shouldn't attack into those 3 pylons. That's very temporary.
He's also attacking 2 places at once, but I think it can kind of attack wherever he wants to attack.
With
As
this
you
much
can see,
supply.
Trust is not warping in enough, and this is where the avalanche starts. Too many Liberation Zones. He's going to cut off the third base from the main. Too much damage. I think this game is over. Speed made the adjustments, switched a few dials around, and that means that Trust is going to lose our final game, game number 5, meaning Speed is one of our Code A survivors today. GG.
Wow. Well done. Well done on both sides, really. Like, I like how Trust played those last 3 games after the 2 failed cheeses as well.
Yeah, me too.
You know, good on him. Speed, though, does go up, was expected to win, and does so.
Trust, obviously very disappointed with that play, but hey, that was a better showing than I thought it was going to be, especially after seeing game number 1. Congrats to Speed. I look forward to casting more of his games. Trust, he's a good player, just not the quality of Code S.
Yeah. You know, I don't know if Trust is ever really going to make it there, but maybe in the future one day. Yeah, I don't know. He keeps trying. He's on a great team. He definitely had some strong macro plays there, but needs to do more to bring it all together.
We are going to go to a short break. When we come back, our final match, the big match for today, it's going to be Hyun versus Sue. So stay tuned here at the GSL Code A.
Don't know about me. 1, 2, 3, let's go. Tell me what you want me to. So get around me. So run for the gold, run for the money, run for the infinity. We'll never return and be free. But every time I come around, there's too many little things they know about us. No, I can't play. And I don't wanna be afraid, babe. There's no way. I'm the one, so baby, don't pretend. And I don't wanna make it better. There's no other way. I don't want you to make me mad. Got my boys in the water. Got my girls spending overtime. Got my boys in the water. Got my boys in the water. Got my boys in the water. Got my girls spending overtime. Got my boys in the water. Got my boys in the water. Then we fall in the replay. Through the night calling. Where princes rule the world. Partying, jumping, but we should get lost before you. So run for the gold, run for the money, run for the infinity. We'll never return and be free. But every time I come around, there's too many little things they know about us. No, I can't play. And I don't wanna be afraid, babe. There's no other way. I'm the one, so baby, don't pretend. And I don't wanna make it better. There's no other way. I don't want you to make me mad. Got my boys in the water. Got my girls spinning overtime. Got my boys in the water. Got my boys in the water. Got my boys in the water. Got my girls spinning overtime. Got my boys in the water. Got my boys in the water. And I don't wanna be afraid, babe. There's no other way. I'm the one, so baby, don't pretend. And I don't wanna make it better. There's no other way. I don't want you to make me mad. Got my boys in the water. Got my girls spinning overtime. Got my boys in the water. Got my boys in the water. Got my boys in the water. Got my girls spinning overtime. Got my boys in the water. Got my boys in the water. There's a side of you I love. There's a side that I'm sick of. No one gets me high like you. No one breaks me down the way you do. We played this game so many times. Used the same old lies. Said our last goodbye. Still I keep coming back for more. I just want you for one last time. You hate me when I break up.
화사함이 생기다. 건강한 하루가 생기다. pH 8.0과 풍부한 미네랄로 핑크빛 생기가 생기다. 아이시스 8.0. 이제 모두 핑크하세요.
Lost Kingdom.
지금 바로 여기요.
피자통, 떡볶이통, 짬뽕통, 보쌈통. 대한민국 모든 배달 음식 통을 응원합니다. 배달은 우리가 통이다.
스타일? 상쾌하면 되는 거야. 상쾌함의 높이가 다르다. Stylish Sparkling Water 롯데 트레비. 치킨 먹고 갈래.
한 번 맛보면 매니아가 된다. 치킨 매니아. 자네가 그 치킨 매니아인가?
미소가 생기다. 화사함이 생기다. 건강한 하루가 생기다. pH 8.0과 풍부한 미네랄로 핑크빛 생기가 생기다. 아이시스 8.0. 이제 모두 핑크하세요.
한 번 선택이 평생 간다.
차 전세 냈어?
아니요, 그렇진 않고요.
힘들면 바꿔! 언제 어디서나 자유롭게 전직하라. 백전백승.
봄꽃책에서 듣다. 있는 그대로 맑고 깨끗하게 피어나라고 겨울을 이겨낸 봄꽃이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성사이다.
답답할 때 마셔봐요 트로피카나. 상큼상큼 과일 듬뿍 스파클링.
리얼 프루트를 스파클링으로.
과즙이 톡톡 쏜다. 트로피카나 스파클링.
슝 합체. 이건 마치 살아 움직이는 느낌인데 머리를 흔들면서 수염을 없애고 있어.
2,500만 명의 선택 플렉스볼. 아직도 안 써보셨나요? 질레트.
팀 캡틴 아메리카, 팀 아이언맨. 마블 퓨처 파이트에서 게임으로 즐겨라. 마블 퓨처 파이트. 캡틴 아메리카 시빌워 절찬 상영 중.
차 뽑고 정확한 견적 뽑고 금융 혜택도 뽑고 자판기처럼 쉽게 차를 뽑다. 다나와 자동차.
5월 24일 영웅들의 첫 번째 전투가 시작된다. 오버워치 5월 24일 전 세계 동시 발매.
답답할 때 마셔봐요 트로피카나. 상큼상큼 과일 듬뿍 스파클링.
리얼 프루트를 스파클링으로.
과즙이 톡톡 쏜다. 트로피카나 스파클링.
봄꽃책에서 듣다. 있는 그대로 맑고 깨끗하게 피어나라고 겨울을 이겨낸 봄꽃이 내게 말했다. 맑고 깨끗한 칠성사이다.
to a GSL.
All right, we're back, and it's time to go into our final match. So this is really the highlight match of tonight. It's going to be Sue against Hyun, a ZVZ. Tough to call. I think Sue should take it, but Hyun may very well surprise us. We've had much closer games today than we initially anticipated, Artie.
Yeah, you would definitely assume Sue would take this, but Hyun has joined Jin Air Green Wings. And guys, like we all know who Hyun is. He's a GSL finalist.
That's
He's
right.
Someone that has gone abroad with great results and, you know, has like kind of like his own style, normally a very roach-heavy style.
That's right.
Very fun style to watch. But let's not forget, he used to be on a Kespa team in StarCraft 1. He was a very good up-and-coming player, hitting Pro League matches, single leagues, everything. So, like in StarCraft 1, when Hyun was playing it, Hyun was better than Sue. To kind of put this in perspective, Sue was a StarCraft 1 pro as well, of course. So, you know, now that he's on a Kespa team again, Jin Air, one of the best teams out there, I think that this should be a good match. Like, I think it's going to be reasonably close. I guess I'm most interested to see where Hyun's at right now.
Yeah, Sue has been pretty consistent, always pretty scary, very well-rounded as a Zerg player. Never quite got the results we all thought he was going to be able to get. But at the same time, I just can't imagine him not being able to get through this. But you know what? I mean, times are changing. We do have different Titans coming out. It is a new game and Legacy here. Hyun, by far, I think the most charismatic pro gamer I've ever met.
I think you're right about that.
Yeah, I'd say even more charismatic than MC. A lot of people would say, no, tasteless. I'd say, yes, nerd watching.
Yeah, we probably
we talk
admit
to all
them
of them
more than you, unless you're a pro
guy
gamer
is
watching.
funny, really comfortable in his own skin.
Yeah.
And he's got a good attitude, and I definitely would attribute that great attitude to a lot of his success.
Says that MC doesn't have a good attitude.
That's what Tasteless is saying. He's saying he's the only pro gamer who's got charisma. Does anyone else think?
But no, you're very right. A really cool guy. Really, really friendly and well-spoken and whatnot.
Here's our map lineup.
Yes. Of course, it's ZVZ, so it looks a little bit different. Rack shear to start. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Not something you would
Not
expect.
every day.
No.
And let's see how these two play. I don't think these games are necessarily going to be that long. Both these guys have got great aggressive styles, too, maybe a little bit more so than Hyun. But if we do go in the late game, that will be a treat, Artosis.
It certainly will. Well, how has Hyun changed now that he's joined Jin Air Green Wings?
Well, Jin Air has been dominating in Pro League.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens here. Does he have the right training? Sue is kind of a one-man army in his own right. I would say a lot of his solving of the game was mainly him, and then of course Cats. That's what down to those two players. All right, guys, we're going into game number 1. Sue against Hyun. It rhymes. I'm done.
Wow.
In the upper left, in the blue, so many GSL finals this player's been in.
SK텔레콤 T1 수.
Casting like Yoda now. So many finals he's been in, yes. Sorry, guys, I'm not the best Yoda impersonator. Stick with casting. And in the bottom right, one of the best Zergs out there, solid and scary.
지메어 그린윙스 현.
And one of these guys will be in Code S, and they have to remember, in the mortal words of Tasteless, there is no try, only do.
Only do. So, we got Hatch first right here, mirrored builds. And let's see where the game takes us from here.
Production tab!
Production tab time!
There
Watch
it
the tab!
is. Oh,
Watch it carefully!
and it's a
And we'll
little
tell you
bit
what happens in the
different
game.
right now. Hyun actually going to take a hidden third?
What is going on? Wait for it. He's just doing laps right now. He's going to train for a marathon.
Oh, man. So quick at turning. Units in StarCraft, like, they can de-excel and re-excel.
Wow.
Okay, so that's like a very tricky way to open up this first series for Hyun.
Wow. Not every day you get to see that. But I think this is a smart play here from Hyun. to kind of play around the ZVZ meta because I think probably Sue and Hyun both would agree that I think in a very traditional standard game, Sue should win. So why would you play a traditional standard game if you're Hyun?
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Doesn't make any sense. Why would you do it? Come on, answer me that. So
that's so funny.
Yeah.
And I mean, this is a map that they don't play very much, and why would you send anything to the bottom left? Why would you do that?
Why would you do that?
Why would you
Why
send something down there?
Tell me why would you do that?
You wouldn't do that.
You can't tell
would
me.
you do
Why
that?
would you do that?
God.
Yeah.
You can't defend yourself, don't do it.
Yeah. Kill the messenger here. So, I mean, I guess this is to some extent going to come down to if that's scouted or if Sue gets some kind of crazy read, which I don't even know if you can get a read that good to identify that there's a hatch down there, since this is so uncommon.
That's really tough to figure that out exactly.
There are more rhinos in the year 2045 than there are strats like this that we ever see in ZVZ.
My God.
Okay, it is rare. Also, on a sad note, rhinos are slowly going extinct.
Well, hey, maybe, you know what, you said there's more rhinos then. And so perhaps that means a comeback in their population?
Maybe. The rhino comeback. It's real.
They're going to take over. Did you ever watch Babar as a child?
I don't even know what that is. I'm sorry. What is that?
Oh. It's just, it was a great show. I love that
cartoon?
show. Yeah.
About a rhino?
Well, the rhinos were the bad guys. The elephants were the good guys. There was an elephant kingdom, and then like the rhinos had their own kingdom. They weren't really bad. The really bad guy was the hunter.
Yeah, he's the bad guy for sure.
Yeah.
Even though he's probably killing him for population control, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
Let's not teach kids the complexities of this. So we got an Evo chamber. You know, there's an actual
Definitely need population control on elephant stances.
Yeah, you know, there's an excess of lions right now.
Is there?
In Zimbabwe.
Are you lying right now?
No,
is that one of the excesses of the lions?
There's actually, they're going to have to kill off a bunch because they're eating everything now.
Really?
Yeah, they're going to have to kill off a good number of them.
Huh.
Yeah. Now, we see it set up outside the base here for Sue. He's got some banelings and some lings. And right now, Hyun is turtling, and I'd say very nicely at that.
Everything looking nice for him, and as you say, like the fact that he has not been found, he has this extra income that's going on. And don't forget, this is a closer hatchery as well. So he could do something like make units there to rally for an attack and even a little sneak attack. Like, what if he made a little group of lings and ran in?
Yeah, absolutely. Or some banelings that hit those drones.
That could give everything away is the only thing he has to be very careful
I think it would have to take more than one attack from there before you really catch on. Because I think the first time that happens, you think, oh, my God, I must have missed something on the mini-map.
Yeah.
Because that does happen even with the best players. Wow, look at that. He's just outside of vision range. That Overlord's not moving down there, right? It's on a hold position.
Yeah, I think it's just spotting for anything coming in from that angle towards his third base.
So we got missile attacks coming here from Hyun. Now, the problem, and this is not a new strategy, guys. It's actually really old. It was just used more in Bird War. I think overall, because people, in some regards, had not gotten as good enough to just check all the bases, and it sort of got phased out later on. And then we really didn't see it in StarCraft 2 at all. But it kind of came back. I mean, the thing is, if you don't catch it and you assume that you're on 2 base and they're on 3 base, you end up playing completely wrong.
Yeah.
You're just totally not prepared for what's coming.
The amount of bases you have is one of the primary things that you calculate when doing anything in StarCraft, especially at the pro level. So that is absolutely something that can mess Sue up in every way. But Sue, the strategy he's doing goes all right with what's going on here because he's going for a Spire. And the Spire, like, is the natural enemy of the Roach, right? So
it's also the natural enemy of a hidden base, Artosis. There's a lot of moments where you're just going to be flying over something and hit that.
Totally.
For instance, if he wants to hit the main, what are the odds that he
In fact, he might want to expand there as his next base as he takes the mutas.
Yeah, that's true. You want to be far away. He sees the Spire. 10 muties are on the way.
Muty patooties.
That's right. Not when he's playing.
Cutie muties?
Muty cuties, yeah.
Muty cuties.
Muty cuties. Are you coming out? We're so immature, man. So
1-1 and Roach Speed is about to finish here. A lot of spores on the way for Hyun.
Yeah, these guys really teching in totally different directions.
He's playing Sporecraft 2 at the moment.
Because
Sporecraft 1 was just so exciting, man.
That's right.
He bought the sequel. He's so excited about it.
Oh, never mind. He turns around. Okay, everybody can let go now. We don't have to hold on anymore. Yeah, he still hasn't spotted that hidden base. I mean, that base is totally exposed. And right now, I think Sue really has to be scratching his head saying, what exactly is he doing?
Is he gonna find? He's gonna find it, isn't he?
Yeah.
Look at all those spores. Well, he actually has some roaches here.
Yeah.
He can hold on.
He's actually
oh my
fine.
god.
He can actually turtle up there.
And right now, Sue is like, I've never even seen this.
I know.
This is so crazy.
He's actually going to be pushing up here, too.
Oh,
well, this is a mistake. This is a mistake.
Yeah, like...
Mistakes were made.
Well, he's not doing anything here.
He's dead. This is bad. He's going to get all these spores. This base is going to die. And I think Hyun might have just thrown this game so hard. I'm really worried for him, man.
Yeah, he just doesn't have anti-air now that those spores in Queenside.
He could have stayed down there. He could have actually stayed down there.
Yeah, he could have made that like very cost inefficient for Sue to ever remove. But he's continuing his attack. He does have a lot of roaches. See what he can get done with this. Baneling's speed on the way, knowing that Hyun is going to have to go into Hydras eventually.
Wow, these Banelings are going to connect with this bunch right up here and just wipe it out.
Oh, man.
Well, Hyun can't expand over there just yet. The air army is beating up the ground army pretty badly here. Drone count is 52 to 57 here. With the air player, that'd be Sue, actually in the lead. So this is pretty bad because these roaches are going to be disappearing very quickly. By the way, mostly the roaches are fighting lings, and lings are much more expendable than roaches, especially in this tech order.
You know what? No, I do want to say is he's kept him off his bottom left base. The bottom left base is still there, right? Like, it's still mining. So he's at least buying some time over there.
Yeah. I don't know if there's defense being remade, though, at the bottom.
Full?
Perhaps. I mean, the problem is that these roaches are just dying, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have a great...
What are they dying for, Tasteless?
That's what's really sad about it. I mean, he's not getting a ton of workers. Like I said, the lings are kind of stalling for the rest of the ground army here. So, I mean, losing lings, you can always lose lings if you're killing off the other, or if you're trading. And the Muta army is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger.
You know, he's remade spores at that base, but I don't think it's quite enough now. There's so many mutas out. Look at 26 mutas. Wow.
You're so funny.
That's
I like your gasp of awe. Like, whoa,
26.
26.
Whoa, that's so many mutas, Tasteless.
That's more than I have in fingers and toes. So, let's see. I mean, he can come down here and try to hit this base again and try to clear this out.
Yeah, look at this. He's trying to keep these spores up. Looks like Sue may have figured out how to beat Sporecraft too here.
Yeah.
Turns out you just make more and more mutas until they kill everything.
Yeah. Eventually you have more mutas and they have spores, and glaives are pretty good. And I think with this base gone, I actually do believe this is the end of the game. Whether or not Hyun leaves, that's another story. But
well, Hyun is going to give it another try. He's getting 2-2 Roach Burrow movement, and that's like that's definitely something that gives him an opportunity. Like, he might be able to sneak roaches in and suddenly kill all the drones of Sue or something like that.
Yeah, you might be right.
It's possible.
I think that's the plan. I don't know if it's going to work. We'll see.
It's okay. He's just making more spores. That's what he needs.
Yeah, that's what he needs. The problem with spores is that you might survive, but you might not win either.
Yeah, it's hard to win with spores are your only anti-air.
Generally, static defense, too much of it's never a good thing.
Look at this micro, pulling the spore back and healing it in the meantime. All right, he does unburrow these roaches, and
now he doesn't even have to prioritize hitting the spore right now, because if he takes out all these roaches, the lings win anyways. And we have the counterattack here. Now, this is a decent number of roaches, but I think the damage output here with this insane number of lings and mutas is probably going to be too much.
I think you're probably right.
Call it a hunch.
Well, right now the roaches are doing what they can over here.
That's
More
right.
lings rolling out of these hatcheries.
2-2 is done. Again, though, it's the sheer damage output. Lings are going to be popping out of these hatches and slowly whittling down.
The thing is, 2-2 roaches against 0-0 lings is pretty one-sided, but you know what's even more one-sided? Mutalisks versus roaches with, like, even, 4-4 upgrades, which don't exist.
He's cleaned up these roaches back here now. Now, the drone count's 27 to 44 with Sue in the lead. He's going for guerrilla tactics here.
Yeah.
But it's not looking
Two guerrillas
too
at
good.
a time.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. I mean, I just don't know how on earth he can possibly recover from this. He's trying to get some infestors. He's hoping for the perfect fungal play, but is it going to work? I'm not sure.
Well, if he gets really good, like 3 fungals in a row and completely clump mutas over some spores, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't think we'll see that.
I don't believe Su's going to allow that because Su is obviously very cognizant of the only real way he can lose this, which would be fungal. That's basically it. As long as he's minding his expansions, I think it's pretty straightforward, right?
I would think so, but the Spore's on the way, and don't forget the upgrades on these roaches actually make them quite difficult to deal with.
Yeah, they're pretty
Hyun
scary.
is retaking a third, and we really only do have Su on 3 bases.
That is true.
What do you have to say about that, Tasteless?
Oh man, maybe I'm the fool. Well, he cleans up more of these roaches. It's, again, still a supply lead here. Artosis is correct, though. There's no 4th base, but I can't imagine that would be that difficult to acquire here for Su.
He does start his 4th now.
Hyun has actually delayed the edit of this game, though, pretty effectively.
He has.
So maybe he can engineer a comeback. Let's see. Again, it'll come down to if the fungals connect.
It looks like Su has decided that he actually can't kill Hyun yet, so he's going into a lurker den at the moment.
Interesting.
Which that James Bond roach might be able to see. It's right near it.
Yeah, the Mission Impossible roach over there.
That's Roachbo. He's behind enemy lanes.
Oh, that's good. Wow. 6 years almost of casting this. We haven't had the Rambo joke put in there for Roachbo.
And then someone will link us to somewhere we did like 4 years ago. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, guys.
Get in the Overlord.
I'm never more than 4 years old, guys.
Oh, no, wait, that's Schwarzenegger. What does Rambo say?
He speaks with his knife, my friend.
That's true. I can't think of a single Rambo quote.
You don't need to. He's behind enemy lines, and he wrecks everything. Just like that roach is going to do. See?
Here we go.
Roachbo.
Ah! And he doesn't kill a single drone.
Burrow!
All right.
Roach, no!
We'll be waiting for the sequel. I'm sure there'll be many more of those to come. Can't get enough of Roachbo. So, still 3 bases. The 4th base has actually been acquired here by Su, kind of in the middle of the map, and that's an interesting location. A lot of players, especially when they're going mutas, opt to hide the bases. They want to have it as far out as possible to make it as inaccessible to a ground army. Yeah. But a different approach here. And
by the way, I want to bring up the way that Hyun is playing looks to me like it might be the most annoying, frustrating thing ever. To play against?
He's keeping Su honest, and we're actually going to have a timing coming up here. Now, where are the infestors? They're going to come out of nowhere in a second here. Oh, here they are.
Even so, I mean, I don't think they actually end up killing this. They don't have enough mana on 5 of them to kill all these when they're spread.
Is there an over? Oh, yeah, there is an overseer. It's right in front of my face.
If you just leave the mutas on top of the infested Terrans, I guess they do have enough.
Here come the lurkers.
Oh, man. Those lurkers are going to be able to shred everything he has so hard.
Oh, he's trying to snipe the hatch. And you know what? He's going to lose all of his roaches, which is also very bad. Oh, this is going to be hilarious.
Oh, my God.
Wow. That really goes to highlight how much damage lurkers do. And, yeah, I think he just pushes, man.
Yeah, how do you hold on? The lurker is as big a counter to the roach as an immortal. So,
yeah.
These are going to absolutely shred through everything, and there's just not much that he can do, even with the ridiculous upgrade advantage that he has.
Okay, well, I got to say, props to Hyun for making this game go that far.
Yeah.
I think it was a really tough game.
He's made a very interesting one.
When he lost that extra base in the bottom left, I thought we were going to almost immediately see a GG, but he's pretty crafty. Now we're going to have to push down here into the main. Now, this is not necessary entirely here from Su, but it looks like Su is hungry to go into game number 2. So he's just going to go for the jugular and try to close it out.
And that will be it. GG. Su taking game 1. Well, Hyun definitely bringing up an interesting strat to make Su think. Good thing you went for the Spire, though. If he went for Roach Tech himself,
he would have been in trouble.
That could have been really bad.
That would probably be how you'd win that. But Su really likes the Muta Ling play a lot.
Yeah.
I think he only goes Roaches if he feels like he has to on that map, you know?
You're probably right about that. All right, so with game number 2 around the corner, I just have one question for you, Tasteless.
Talk to me, Toshi.
Why can't you hear a pterodactyl go to the bathroom?
Why?
Because the P is silent.
Wow. The dad jokes. Artosis, you are truly the greatest caster that has ever lived and ever will be. We are now going into game number 2. I don't think Hyun can have any more shenanigans, by the way. I don't know if he could try I mean, well, definitely
not
no base.
something like that. If he were to, Frost is a pretty big map, so maybe this would be where, but yeah, I don't know. I think Sue's going to scout everything from now on.
Yeah, I think a link to every base. We're going into game number 2. This is Sue versus Hyun in a fight to get into Code S. Winning game number 1 in the upper right in the blue. He is
SK텔레콤 T1 수.
Artosis. Tasteless. We have a quick pull from the player in the upper left in the red.
진에어 그린윙스 현.
A lot of people in the audience here cheering for Hyun right now. Hyun, by the way, this is kind of similar to what we saw from Trust. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but it is similar in this whole idea that one player is playing, a much more standard route of ZVZ, much more interested in getting all of the toys out of the box to play with in the game, and another player is trying to play around that.
Well, he's doing a good job so far, I think, in switching up his strategies a little bit.
Yeah.
Quite a few Lings on the way.
Let's see how ready.
Hard on this.
Yeah, let's see how ready he's actually going to be for this. Now, it's one base Baneling with Ling speed. A lot of this is just going to come down to Link control, guys. Overlords mad dogging each other. Saying, you're going down. I wish I could attack. I wish I could use these arms.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? I mean, they're already scouting flying supply depots that can drop and detect. I think they should be able to attack as well. You're right.
They need to be able to attack and cast Psystorm, and then I'll have everything I want. So, and Cloak, of course, as well.
Yeah. Well, I assumed that.
Yeah, of course, right?
When you said Psystorm, I assumed you meant all the Templar
I
abilities.
also want them to be able to warp in buildings, okay? They need to be able to warp in pylons, okay? All right.
A lot of Lings on the way. Baneling's morphing right now. Speed a lot quicker for Hyun.
Not 2 but 4 Lings were spotted, and there are actually a few Banelings already down, and the Link speed is done. Sue is out of position.
Oh, going on top of those drones already. There's just nothing here to defend, especially these Banelings coming out.
Hyun actually might do this. He got like the perfect angle, and his Banelings got in, and he's going to get some drones with these Banelings.
Wow, actually blows all of them up right there.
Oh my
kills
God.
the queen, kills those drones.
This is a massacre.
So far, it certainly is. We do have a Spine on the way, but he is going to get in here on top of those drones.
Let's see how much more damage he can do. Banelings are still morphing in over here. Sue, of course, going to have a little bit of a tough time. His Link speed is not done yet, so he can always be outmaneuvered. He might even get boxed in by these Banelings. No, Banelings go up here into the main. Spinecrawler about to finish. Drones under fire.
Oh, can these Banelings actually get connection onto the drones? A great splitting here by Sue. Not quite able to find anything.
You know what? He wasn't getting drones, though.
Yeah, he wasn't getting drones.
It's 16-13 right now, and it's 1 hatch versus 2.
He does still have that Baneling tech advantage, but having a hard time even morphing any, as we see. That double hatchery really helping out for Sue at the moment.
Nice job, even denying that other Baneling from being made over there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can do more damage, man. I think Sue just had like the perfect hold, despite being totally out of position at the start of that attack.
And Hyun did not make a hatchery behind this. Sometimes when we see people do aggressive Lings early on, you'll see that hatchery behind so that they can just kill their opponent's hatch. But that's part of why Hyun didn't even target that hatchery. He knew he had to get a victory here, which unfortunately for him, he hasn't gotten.
Takes out that Ling there. More Lings headed over here towards the left side of the map. Hyun way out of position now. Still on 1 base. Kind of forced into just continuing to make Lings and Banelings. You can't really be like, oh, you
can't make a hatch.
Oh, no.
Oof.
Oof. Oof. Oof. Oof. That was not a pretty sight. How many Banelings that have been being made have been killed in this game? I actually lost. That's a GG.
A lot.
Wow.
Wow. Okay, so
Sue with the counter punches. Damn.
Sue kind of crushed him through. I like what Hyun's doing. It's just not working.
Yeah, well, this is a tale that's been told many a time before here in Code A, where we got one guy who is solid early game, mid game, late game, holds rushes, can tech, can cheese himself. The other player says, I can do most of that except play a standard game. So I'm going to play around it. And sometimes it's a bit too predictable. And here's the problem when you do this against Sue. Who doesn't do this against Sue? Sue is terrifying in a normal game.
Yeah, he is.
And this is one thing that happens when you get like really good in tournaments is you kind of get used to everybody trying to pull a fast one on you.
Yeah.
How many times can the rug really be pulled out from under you? Not that many, you know?
That's a good question. And Sue, he is someone that always has a rug under him in the form of creep. So
I'd say Sue is a player who has the rug under him, but it's a magic carpet or two.
Wow. Well, he's going to show Hyun the world in this next map, Frozen Temple.
Oh, man. 2-0, guys, but we've already had pretty crazy comebacks so far, or at least close to comebacks. So we still may be going to Game 5. What does Hyun do? Does Hyun bring us the standard TVZ, or will he try to chicken out and cheese again? I don't know what the best choice is.
Chicken out.
Chicken out.
Is he brave enough to cheese again?
All right, guys. Tell your friends to join us. We might only have one more game left. Sue versus Hyun in our final best of 5 for tonight's GSL Code A. In the upper left in the blue. Ooh, quick pull, quick gas.
SK텔레콤 T1 수.
Sue is saying, all right, time to show Hyun how the strategy actually works. He'll learn from this. He'll learn.
Oh, no, he won't.
Oh, no, he won't. Because in the bottom right in the red, also with a relatively fast pull.
진에어 그린윙스 현.
Here's what can go wrong. We actually saw something very similar to this set of builds last Friday in our awesome ZVZ Impact against...
That's right.
He knocked someone good out. Who was it? Why is my brain not working?
Don't ask me this, man. We cast so much StarCraft, guys, that if you were to ask us like so many games about the last season, it would be hard for us to map out who played who.
But look, if Hyun sends a bunch of Lings across the map and then Sue makes a little trap like we saw from Impact against Curious, Tasus wrote it down on a piece of paper for me. But
I have all the other information written down on the palm of my hand.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, you haven't washed that since last week. That's really gross.
Yeah, I haven't paid my water bill in a long time. So.
But look, that's one way that this could go really weird for him. But making that hatchery. Sue right now, not committing to any expansions of his own.
Thing is, when Sue does this kind of strat, he actually makes it work pretty well, even if the responding build is not that bad.
Hyun sees the Lings.
Hyun knows. This is where Sue will call Hyun a hacker in this game. You know, it really is. Like the best feeling to have in StarCraft is when you're beating somebody and they accuse you of hacking and you're not hacking. Isn't that just an amazing feeling?
That is an amazing feeling.
It's just, oh, God, it's the best. I'm like, wow, this guy can't even wrap his head around how good I am.
The worst feeling, though, is most certainly when you're trying your hardest against a Terran and it's an okay game. And at the moment that you both realize that he's won, he drops all his mules on you.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty bad feeling.
That's a
pretty bad feeling. So we're going to have the hatchery go down. Here's the secret, guys. Don't use the Banelings on the Broodlings, okay? Taking notes?
You probably don't want to do that. Look at this. He is going to make a move up the ramp. There is a spine here and a couple queens. I'm not sure that this will work out that well.
Kind of a bold move here. He's going to leave that hatchery over there, but the queen goes down.
Oh, Sue is going for it.
Wow, actually, this is like so ballsy. I can't even believe he did this.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, well, that's too much damage to the drones. This should be GG, I would say.
Wow.
Like, the drones actually just came out and fought against Bane.
He could have been more conservative and just been like, you know what? I'm going to get the hatchet play it safe. And he's like, wait a minute. And the whole screen turned into Matrix code. And he's like, I know this exactly. Wow.
That is it.
All right, guys.
That ends Code A today. I was really excited about this series, and at the end of the day, it did not hold up, unfortunately.
Give it up for your champion, Sue, who just did a speed run of Code A.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Cosmo is getting a little bit jealous right now. Sue, like, glitches through the walls and stuff. He's like, all right, here's how I do this. I jump backwards 10 times through round 2.
Yeah, that was... Pretty one-sided, unfortunately. I liked